I didn't even put my little counter on the screen because this guy has been on so much. He doesn't get the special treatment anymore. I see him laughing down here. He just doesn't get the special treatment. I'm sorry, dude. That's the way it goes. I don't know if I can't remember if he's the director or the regional director. I'm about to bring him in right now. He can tell us. He's a director of some sort with the YMCA YCAP program. What's up, Andy Smith?
Clint, I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Living the dream. What's up with that hat?
Go blue. Tip back-to-back state champs, baby.
You used to coach there, didn't you?
I did for 12 years, man. I miss it. I miss all the guys. Actually, I say I miss it. I don't miss all the work.
What position did you coach?
Running backs. I'm an offensive guy. I'm not greedy like you are. You were probably a defensive guy, like trying to tear your head off, but that's not me.
I like blocking. I like blocking for people. I was a fullback. I like blocking.
Offense sells tickets. Defense wins games.
Look at you. Well, when did you quit coaching? When did you stop?
Golly, let's see. I was there from 2002 until 15. So, yeah.
Basically, their success right now is off what you did for those years.
Nah, I can't do that, man. I don't take credit for anything in life. Nothing. You know better than that, man.
Hey, tell everybody, did I get your title right? Are you the regional director or the director?
I'm the regional executive director of YCAP.
And do what we always do. Give me your spiel. Tell everybody what YCAP is. Then we're going to talk life a little bit.
Yeah, man. Youth Community Action Project under the YMCA umbrella started in 1998, and we work with middle school age kids that are referred to us through a variety of resources, juvenile court, principals, guidance counselors, teachers. But they're kids just, struggling somewhere in their life. And so our job, in a sentence, it's early intervention prevention. And we have 3 locations, downtown Chattanooga, one in Ottawa and one in Cleveland. And just a tremendous staff that pours into these kids every single day and tries to help get these kids steered back in the right direction. And we do that with a variety of different opportunities that we provide for our kids.
All right. So this is where I'll jump in. I think you got 75 kids.
We do. Yeah.
75 kids. You provide tutoring, a lot of times transportation. You also expose them to other things like gardening, woodworking, hiking, biking, recreational sports, which they may not get in the communities they grew up in. And one of the best things you guys do, I think, on a daily basis is when the kids get to the program, to their facilities, one of the first things that your staff does is sit them all down and kind of has a debrief of the day, which we, as people like Clint may take for granted. Because when I used to get home or I'd get in the car, mom or dad, sometime during the day would ask me, how was your day? And I had a chance to either lie or tell the truth, which was a combination of both. But, a lot of the kids that you deal with don't have that as consistently as they should. So you guys provide that. Somebody asking the simple question of how was your day is a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, Clint, the thing is essentially what we're trying to do with these kids is teach them how to outgrow the adults in their life that maybe have failed them. And so when we give them the opportunity to talk about those issues, then we begin to uncover why it is we're struggling in school or why it is we're struggling behaviorally, because some of those issues cut so deep that they've had to hold on to them for so long. And so that if we can give them the opportunity to talk about those feelings, and I know it's weird for us men to say, but sometimes getting in our feelings sometimes is a good thing. And as strange as that may sound for 2 grown men talking about feelings, but I'm telling you, man, we feel like that's one of the most, like you said, it's one of the most important things we do every single day.
Well, you're either going to deal with your feelings and learn how to handle them when you're young, or you're going to handle them when you're older. And when you're older, they're going to manifest themselves. If you've not learned how to do it in a healthy way, they're going to manifest themselves in unhealthy ways because you never were taught any different. It wasn't until I really started getting to know you and your dad and the program that it really clicked. I think I always knew, but it never really was front and center. But the people you read about, 18, 20, 25, and 30, the ones that we kind of label certain things, if you don't go back and look how they were raised from the time of birth to the time they were 10, you may not understand that what you know is right and wrong, they may not know is right. Even if they know what's right and wrong, they don't know how to implement it because they never saw it acted out in front of them. They never are held to certain expectations, and no one was there to correct them. And now all of a sudden they're 20, go out into the real world, and now you be a good person.
Yeah, so adverse childhood experiences, we call them ACEs today.
You just wanted to sound smart. Stop it. Just stop that. That's
well, a lot of study. No, you're dead on with everything you said. A lot of studies have been done on children's brains and how trauma affects them long term and later on in their life. And so, like you said, what may be normal to us is not always normal to the next person. And so how can we, sort of have those conversations and begin to understand cultures and backgrounds and where people come from, and then kind of figuring out a way to agree on things that a lot of times most people in our society don't agree on. So you're exactly right, man. If we can just kind of steer these kids back in the right direction, and oh, by the way, keep them from getting incarcerated on down the road, it's going to save us taxpayers a lot of money at the end of the day.
And it breaks the cycle of whatever family, cycle they have going on. I have had, and he is the Chattanooga police chief, and he was talking about trauma as a child, and how for every, I can't remember, it's every act of trauma or every negative, it takes so many, like 20 positives or 15 positives. He had some research behind his. I'm trying to recall it, so I'm kind of butchering it completely. But the thing I took away from it is trauma to a 6-year-old or 4-year-old, as we would think about it, that is something that is done to a child, which is trauma. But also there's things that affect a child that are absent of. I grew up when my mom and dad would take something that I drew in kindergarten, they put on the refrigerator. When I did something at 7 years old at the ball game, they were standing up yelling, and everybody was going, he just, he just got ran over, but he stood there, whatever. But that absence in a child can leave gaps and holes too. So it's not just you're trying to fix things that have been done to people. You're also trying to fill in those gaps.
Yeah,
so that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, and just providing. I love, boy, and I know you've had him on multiple times. Heath Esslinger says it best. If we can provide a child 3 things: a safe place, a belief system, and someone, most importantly, that believes in them, you're giving you're giving a kid the best chance to succeed. And so we hope that we're doing those 3 things, and that it's a testimony to our staff that pours into them every single day, Clint, and just gives a kid an opportunity. And that's all they need. They just need an opportunity, man.
Well, we're going to switch gears, talk about life a little bit here, and then we're going to wrap it up in a minute with talking more about YCAP. And you got some thank yous to give out, I know. But let's just real quick visit Heath. One of the reasons, I don't know how a guy with ears that look like that can be that smart, but he's got some nasty ears.
Man. That's that wrestler look.
Woo! Golly, gee. You just, when I'm doing videos with, and I know I'm making fun of him. Now he's not going to come on with me anymore.
He's gonna come, single leg you.
Dude, listen, I'll break. I'm so tight right now. I got this heavy bag from a buddy of mine, so I'm back doing everyday workouts.
That's good stuff, man. Hey, box therapy, man. That's therapy.
It's the cheapest, most, if you've got demons and monsters in the basement, they come out and you can just import them into that bag.
That's awesome, man.
Oh, I
Look
love
at Debbie jumping on.
How about Debbie?
Shout out to Debbie, downtown's the executive director, Downtown Y. Awesome job. And by the way, she's my neighbor.
Oh, really?
She is. She's kind of like the police of Hollyoak Lane there in East Brainerd. It's good stuff.
Is she really? I'll remember. So she's the one calling all the noise ordinances on you.
She is. Absolutely.
Well, let me ask you a question. When she calls them, are you cussing your Vols? Are you saying bad words? Because that's what I've got written down to talk about the Vols.
I'm past that, man. That makes me so sick. I'm just disgusted by watching that dumpster fire of.
Do you need a new coach?
We need a new. Just trash everything and start over. Just the whole thing. Burn it all down.
Listen, you know that I'm not a Tennessee fan, but I think SEC is better when Tennessee is a strong contender and they're a viable team.
There's no doubt, man. Obviously I'm biased and I'm financially invested by going up there every Saturday and watching that embarrassment of a show. But I mean, yeah, the East needs Tennessee to be relevant again. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Tennessee's a winning was a winning program for a long time, and yeah, man, it's hard to watch, man.
Well, I think the East needs some revamping anyway. The East, I don't know what's going on the last 7-8 years. I mean, every now and then Georgia, Florida will step up, but I have a strange feeling things come and go in cycles. Saban won't be there forever, and when that ship sails, I have a strange feeling that it'll be unless they get a really strong coach, it'll be a scatter, and the talent will get dispersed a little bit.
Well, college football is interesting right now, man, and I'll tell you, Clint, just from paying attention to all the things that are going on the outside, they start paying these players, man. The players are realizing how much power they have.
And look at this! I'm getting a phone call. Sorry.
The day that college athletes realize that, hey, man, I don't have to go play in this bowl game if you're not going to pay me. And they I just think that, man, there's a lot of things coming down the pipe that's going to change.
Me and you need to have that conversation because, and I know I've got a lot of buddies that played really high levels of college football. So their opinion, I'm not a believer if you haven't done it, you can't have an opinion. Everybody can have an opinion. Theirs just weighs more than mine because they've done it. But, I mean, getting free education counts for something, right? Because there's a lot of people that pay a lot of money for that education.
No doubt. I mean, I'm torn, man. I mean, I've had these debates with so many people, especially my dad, and he's kind of old school. He's like, "You're getting your school paid for," and man, I'm telling. Let's be honest, man. It's a big business. And
here's what I think. I think if they start putting your name and number on the jerseys or the tickets, that's when you should start asking for money. If colleges want to promote the team, then nobody gets paid. But if if Andy Smith's going to get his number on the front of a ticket catching the football, then that you should get some proceeds.
There's no question. How many Walmarts in Tuscaloosa, Alabama are selling Devontae Smith jerseys? Let's be honest here.
Hey, back off the Bama talk, dude. What the crap? I don't understand what that – you went nasty real quick. That's hate speech. I could report you on Facebook for that crap.
No, I think just solidifying your point. I mean, when you start selling my name and my number, and I don't know, man. That's
now. If I remember correctly, and people can always jump in on this, but back in the day. I like saying it like that, like Jocko Willink back in the day. Let me get into the light when I say it. Well, 70s and 80s, I know Penn State, and I think even Alabama, because that's why I liked Alabama, they didn't have names on the jerseys. So you didn't have your last name on the jerseys because it was about the team and not who you were. And if you're going to go down the road, if they just remove the names and go to the numbers, you have a lot of this go away.
Sure. No doubt. But you still add the fact that, my goodness, did you see the ESPN deal that they did with the SEC?
Yes, I did.
Did you see, every Saturday at these SEC schools all over the country? I mean, how many people are going into these stadiums? And I mean, listen, revenue, there's no secret. The revenue to the majority of these Power 5 schools are coming from football. So
it's also supporting your wrestling team.
Of course.
That's how they're making their money. And I don't want to get rid of wrestling. I was sad when Carson Newman got rid of their wrestling program because they had a killer wrestling program for a long, long time. Hey, let's switch gears because we don't have forever. Let's switch gears. Boxing. Last time you and I were on, it was before the Tyson Roy Jones Jr. fight. Did you watch the fight?
I did not, man. I'll be honest.
Have you gone on YouTube and watched it?
I've gone back and watched it.
All right. So
I didn't watch it live. I did watch it.
What's your thoughts?
I don't admit, somebody said I forgot who was commentating.
Snoop Dogg.
That's right. And he said, I feel like I'm at I feel like I'm at a barbecue if my two uncles broke out fighting. I'm sorry, man. That just summed it up, man.
Did you like the way it looked? It looked a little different. I didn't like the music running full time behind it. I thought that was I didn't like that. But did you like how it looked?
Sparring match is what it was, Clint. It was a glorified sparring match, and I'm not real sure how much money they generated. I haven't heard. Maybe you can tell live on that, but and then I don't know what they were doing with the money. But I mean, man, listen, Roy Jones arguably is. I mean, he's the top 5 greatest of all time. Yeah, Mike Tyson too. But I mean, the time has passed, man. I mean, in my opinion, for that stage.
I don't mind. Here's why I don't mind it. First of all, if they can make some money going into their retirement years, I know they don't need it, but if they can make some money, provide some entertainment, I mean, then I don't mind it. To me, it's just like the amateurs. I mean, amateurs aren't the best in the world, but they're providing entertainment. They're going after their goals. Sure. I go to the Rocky quotes, if somebody's got a goal, who has a right to stop them? But I will say this, Mike Tyson could have knocked him out at any point in time he wanted to.
Oh, no question.
I watched Mike Tyson pull punches. Every time he could have turned that hip, he just popped him. And I was like,
what's interesting about that? Mike Tyson seemed a whole lot physically in better shape, just physically, than Roy. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
So Tyson must stay pretty healthy for the most part and work out, often. I mean, hey, I'm with you. I have no problem with what they did, man. Does it help boxing? No. Does it hurt it? I'm not going to say that either. I think that I'm with you. I mean, I have no problem with it. Now you've got Evander talking about he wants to fight Tyson in some kind of.
Well, I think Mayweather and Pacquiao are wanting to fight.
Yeah. See, I mean, so my thing is though, man, we're doing this 20 years past. You guys should have already done this.
I agree. Did you hear Deontay Wilder call out Tyson?
I did, man. I mean, I don't know that guy. I love him, man. He's got some demons or something. Man.
Which one, Deontay?
Yeah. I mean, he's made every excuse in the world as to why he lost to Tyson Fury, and it's like, dude, just say he beat me on that night. He was better than me. Yeah. Now let's do it again.
That's what I'd like to see. And I don't want to see him fight Tyson now because I think Tyson is 40, 50, 60% of himself. But I don't know if Deontay is that much stronger of a puncher either than Tyson was, because now they're getting into that little match back and forth. Yeah. I don't mind the matches. I kind of like them. I think they're entertaining, but I'm old. So I also like to see old bands that have gray hair that I grew up in the 80s. I like watching them too.
I think again, man, and we've talked about this multiple times on your shows. I think that boxing is starving for the heavyweight division, period. And so, if bringing back Mike Tyson brings some excitement, hey, I'm all for it, man.
Right now, where are we at in the heavyweight division right now? Is it still Fury?
It's Tyson Fury and everybody else. I mean,
is he fighting anytime soon?
Yeah. He's boxing a no-name guy, and they keep saying that him and Anthony Joshua. I don't have a problem seeing that, and let the winner of that two go back and fight Deontay. But really, Anthony Joshua should fight Deontay, and the winner of those two should come back and fight Fury. But
I don't know why Fury. I mean, to me, Fury is the guy at the tournament that gets the pass. He gets the bye to the next fight because he's beat Deontay.
That's right. Yeah,
so y'all go work it out, and then somebody come talk to me.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's all about money. It's all about the paper, man.
Hey, how is the COVID world we're living in? How's that affected YCAP? Is it like most nonprofits? Has it affected you guys, or have you been insulated a little bit?
Man, I'll tell you, man. A couple things to that. We shut down in April when the mandatory shutdown took place. But what we did do was, thanks to your sister, by the way, she really helped lead the charge on this, Lori. So shout out to Lori Monteith and her team. But
Team Monteith, Keller Williams.
That's right. Lori had a great idea. She wanted for us to make sure that our kids were getting fed. And so we thought, that is a great idea. And so basically twice a week, man, our staff at all three sites went out and we just took the food to the people and did that for a month and then brought them back May 1st. And obviously with all the precautions in place, split the groups in half. And man, we've been going since May 1st ever since. But we're bringing them in every day. Schools just transitioned to all online last week. And so we started bringing the kids in throughout the day to help them with their schoolwork, to make sure that they're doing their schoolwork and then keeping them all afternoon for the normal YCAP programming. So, man, has it affected us somewhat, but it hasn't changed the hearts of our staff. It hasn't changed the mission of YCAP. We continue to do everything that we've always done, just making sure that we're taking all the precautions and being smart about it.
So I'll tell people this: if you're looking for a place to give a few dollars, $10, $100, $1,000, or if you're looking for a place to give some time, even if you say I don't want to be around other people, but you can go off hours and clean, or off hours and deliver food, provide meals, YCAP is a great place. They'll take you as an individual, they'll take you as a church group, a school group, or as a business. I think it's a great place to give back and help you guys help other people. But I know this week's been a big week for you guys too. You wanted to give some thank yous, and I know you already said thank you to Lori. Is there other people in organizations?
Yeah, Clint, man, it just blows my mind. All three sites, Cleveland, Ottawa, Chattanooga, they're all supported in their own little communities in their own little ways. But boy, downtown this week has just been blessed by so many people. It started out Tuesday with Silverdale. They came, and we couldn't do the normal. Normally, Silverdale would buy Christmas for all of the families, and then we would have this big Christmas party and all that. Well, obviously, a lot of the small groups are a little nervous about a big group come together, understandably so. So we decided was Silverdale collected funds, and they went out and got gift cards for the kids. We went out to East Brainerd Walmart, took the kids, and our kids paired up with adults from different small groups at Silverdale, and they shopped, whether it be for their mom or their granny or, whoever they wanted to shop for. So there's a really cool connection made there. And then Wednesday, we were able to get every single kid in our program a coat, thanks to Bart Bledsoe with MCA. Bart said, "Hey, I want to do something," and I said, "Well, Bart, here's a need. These kids, a lot of these kids don't have access to get."
What's the name of the company?
MCA of Chattanooga, Mechanical Contractors Association. And that's your cousin, Tommy. Tommy, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a new company. I've not heard that name.
So Bart, the president there, Bart, Tommy kind of made that connection, and so Bart and I have kept in touch, and his people, and so kudos to them. And then
real quick, let's Tommy Francis, another boxing extraordinaire.
Absolutely, man. And
he went to Kansas City.
But Clint, that's a great. But see, in all seriousness, that's another story of like somebody that says, "Hey, man, I don't have a lot of time, or maybe I don't have a ton of money to give you, but what I can do is introduce you to some people, and hey, man, and then look what happens." And so, right. And then last night, man, just really cool. Connected with Dallas Bay Baptist all the way up in Middle Valley, and they took our kids to dinner, and then gave them a gift card, and went shopping with our kids at Target over in Hickson. And then so Dwight Martin and David Carnes from Channel 3, their small group. Just man,
David Carnes was a ring announcer for one of our last fight at the.
He was. Yeah. He enjoyed it. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. And then lastly, my good buddy Emo, Eric Westmoreland, VFL 1998 national champion. Eric Westmoreland, he and Twomby Settles over at Baylor did a food drive for our kids to have non-perishable items over the holidays, and so we sent the kids home last night with a bunch of food. So it's just, Clint, it's just been overwhelming, the support that Chattanooga as a whole is helping our kids, in our program.
I'm going to say this, and we're going to wrap up this video, dude, but here's why I love the program, and here's what I like about what you said, and it's a political statement. So this represents Clint Powell's views and not Andy's or YCAP's. There's not one kid and there's not one person in anything that you just mentioned that asked how somebody voted. They didn't care what the color was of the person that was helping or that they were helping. None of that mattered. And so if you say to yourself, I sure am tired of all this Facebook divisiveness and crap, then turn Facebook off for a couple hours and go find a place like what you do, because nobody's going to walk in and go, now, are you a Democrat or Republican?
No.
Now, do you have white friends or black friends? Nobody's going to care. They just know that you're going to give either time, money, or prayers and love. And that's really what matters. And that's, if you want to get back to where we're supposed to be, that's the kind of stuff we need.
Yeah, man. Couldn't have said it better, brother. I mean, we just we take all the help we can get. I don't care where you're from, Yale or jail. We'll put you to work.
Yeah, that's got to be a T-shirt.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
YCAP. You can help us from Yale to jail, baby. We can do it. Man. All right. Man, I appreciate you jumping on with me, dude. If I don't
Always
talk,
a blessing, Clint. I love catching up with you, man.
and if I don't talk with you, I hope you and the family have a great Christmas, man.
Same to you, my friend.
All right. See you, buddy.
All right, see you, brother.
Bye, everybody.